Hi, this is Erin Rabel Wilson from Best Life Physical Therapy. These are the exercises that I'd like you to do to start your phase 1 pelvic floor and pelvic brace strengthening program. So the first exercises that you're going to do with this program are going to be isometric. And what that means is that we're just going to start to become aware of our pelvic floor muscles and our abdominal muscles, what we call the canister, from here to here. And the first way that we're going to become aware of that area and those muscles and all of those joints, there are 85 joints in that area, is by doing some diaphragmatic breathing. So if you've ever been a singer, then you're probably aware of what this feels like to use your diaphragm. But when we're using our diaphragm in this kind of way, we're going to actually be thinking about expanding the rib cage out to the sides, this direction. So not just a belly breath in the front. And we're also going to be thinking about bringing that breath low down into the pelvic floor. So the easiest position to get into to start breathing is to lie on your back. So we're going to be lying up here on the back, inhaling into the belly, into the sides, into the pelvic floor. Exhale. So we're going to try to keep our upper lobes of the lungs quiet and try to keep the breath out of the neck. So we're going to bring this breath low again, inhaling into the sides of the rib cage, inhaling into the belly, inhaling into the pelvic floor. We worked on this in our session together already, but this is just a reinforcement of that. So let's try that breath one more time. Inhale into the pelvic floor, into the belly, keeping the top lobes of the lungs quiet, not trying to bring that breath up there. We're going to kind of just try to bypass that area. So I'd like you to spend a couple minutes just trying to get re-engaged with what that feels like. The next thing we're going to do is actually just contracting the pelvic brace. So what I'm going to have you do, staying on your back, is go ahead and inhale that breath into the belly again. On your exhale, I'd like you to close your openings in your pelvic floor. Stop the flow of urine, stop the gas from coming out. Use those muscles there. And draw the belly button in toward the spine gently. And we're just going to try to, that's what we just created the pelvic brace. So we're just going to work on relaxing that hold now. We'll try to engage that with a breath. So you'll inhale to prepare. As you exhale, close those openings, lift toward your heart, belly button comes toward the spine, and that's going to be your pelvic brace engagement. You're still kind of maintaining that hold. It's a gentle hold. When we contract this muscle, you should be able to continue to have a conversation, and you're also going to be able to breathe. So we engage those muscles with the breath. I'm going to go ahead and relax mine right now, but I've been holding the whole time I've been talking to you. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale again. Close the openings, lift toward your heart, belly button comes toward the spine. Your spine's in a neutral position now. It's not flattened back into the table. We're not using our glutes. These are quiet. So inhale again. As you exhale, close those openings. Hold back urine, hold back gas. Draw the belly button toward your spine. And we're just going to hold this. And I want you to set a timer and hold that for 3 minutes in this position. Now that you've done that, you can pause the video and set that timer and hold it for those 3 minutes. Then we're going to go ahead and if we've ever had a separation, we're really going to be careful when we get up from sitting, from supine to sitting, by rolling to the side first, swinging the feet off the edge, and coming back up again, because we don't want to strain that connection there. So, and that's going to be for not only with our exercises, but also with our daily activities. So if you're used to kind of pop it up, it's going to strain those muscles, and we don't want to strain those muscles. We want to support them, support that closure. So now we'll do the same thing in sitting. So you'll go ahead and inhale. As you exhale, close the openings in the pelvic floor, which you can kind of feel a little bit better maybe because you're sitting on a surface, and draw the belly button in toward the spine. So we always engage that connection with our breath, but that doesn't mean you have to be holding your breath the whole time. And it doesn't mean that you have to have a breath every single time that you do it. I just want you to get used to what it feels like to draw in with the air coming out. Because we're trying to really change our intra-abdominal pressure and the way that that works. So for right now, every time you draw in, I'd like the air to come out. Belly draws in, air comes out. It makes it easier to draw that in because there's not that extra intra-abdominal pressure from your breath. So again, you'll be sitting here in this position, inhaling to prepare. As you exhale, close your openings in the pelvic floor, lift them up. And if you lean forward a little bit, you can actually feel those front muscles a little bit better. So those ones that are kind of around the clitoris area, you can kind of feel those lifting up a little bit more. Okay, so you're going to set your timer for 3 minutes and be working on holding the pelvic brace in a seated position for 3 minutes. After you've done that, you're going to go ahead and stand up, and what you'll do here is you can either go with your back against a wall or just be in standing and just work on inhaling. As you exhale, close the openings, lift toward your heart, belly button comes in toward your spine, and work on creating that connection in standing for another 3 minutes. This is going to be these are baby step exercises, and we're going to be over this pretty soon. For the first week or so, I want you to really work on being able to get this connection in lying on your back position, sitting up position, and standing position. So once you've mastered that, then we'll be able to have carryover into your daily activities. So if you're bending over, if you're picking things up, you're going to be engaging that pelvic floor and that pelvic brace. So the idea sounds very kind of elementary right now, but it will have carryover into your daily activities for that reason. So that covers the first 9 minutes of your program every day until I see you again. The next 10 or 15 minutes are going to be exercises. So let's go ahead and get through those. I will go ahead and go through 1 repetition of each of these exercises, and then you can go ahead. You'll start with 1 set of 10 on the first day, and then if I don't get to see you for a couple of weeks, then you'll go ahead and increase to 2 sets of 10, and then all the way up to 3 sets of 10 on these exercises. So I'm going to go ahead and have you, again, sit on your surface, roll onto your side, belly's pulling in as you exhale, roll onto your back, and we were supported to our abdominal muscles the entire time that way. And we're going to begin our exercises by doing the march in place. So you're going to march up and back down. Now, all of these exercises that we're doing, you're engaging that core first. That's your number one job. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, close the openings in the pelvic floor, belly button comes in toward your spine, and we're going to march and place 1 foot down, and march and place the other foot down. And basically, you just are coordinating, maintaining the connection in your pelvic floor and your abdominals while you move your legs. That's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2, scoot down this way a little bit, is going to be extending the leg out to the side, or excuse me, not out to the side, but forward, and holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back home, and then extend the other leg. 5. I'm hovering over the table. I'm not letting that foot hit the table. I'm still closing my openings first, pulling the abdominals toward my spine, and come back. And make sure your neck's in a good alignment with your spine. You're not jutting your chin out like I was. Tuck that chin down. Okay, so that's another 10 of those. Then we're going to do our bent knee fall outs. So inhale to prepare. As you exhale, close your openings in your pelvic floor, abdominals come in, let that knee fall out. We're preventing rotation with this exercise, and then bring it back home. And then let the other knee fall out, and draw that belly in as you don't allow your whole spine to move, and bring it back home. Sometimes what people do is place their hands up on the bony parts of their hips, pretend like they've got long taper candles in their hands so that they don't spill any of that hot wax. And you're controlling that not with your arms, but with the core connection, with that pelvic brace connection, drawing in, supporting, and stabilizing so that there's no movement in the trunk because your abdominals are really stabilizing you with this exercise. Okay, the next exercise that we're going to do after those, we'll do 10 of those. The next exercise that you do after those is going to be placing your hands down on the table. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, close your openings in your pelvic floor, belly button draws in toward your spine, and you're going to go ahead and press through your heels and do bridges. So you're just going to bring your hips up in the air, and then I like to roll down one joint at a time, all the way rolling down until your tailbone hits the table. Inhale here at the bottom. As you exhale, close your openings. The tailbone's going to chase the pubic bone to roll up and press through your heels all the way up. Inhale here at the top. As you exhale, close those openings. Start to roll down one joint at a time. It's a segmental reverse bridge right there. Very good. All right, so we'll do 10 of those. And then we're going to go ahead and come up into change position here. We're going to get up onto our hands and knees, and we're going to go ahead and come into a hands and knees position. And all you're going to do in this position is work on relaxing the belly. On your exhale, I'm going to have you go ahead and draw it back in again. So we're not moving here. We're just going to be in the hands and knees position, and you're going to just go ahead and relax the pelvic floor, relax the belly. Inhale. On your exhale, close the openings in the pelvic floor, draw your belly button up toward the spine, and just hold that. And we're going to hold that. It's an isometric for 10 seconds. And relax. And you'll do 10 of those. And that concludes the exercises in phase 1 of your program.